My name is Maite, and I'm going to talk about the pathway of blood through the heart. And today is the 21st of November 2021. So here is my diagram that I drew of the heart. And blood flow starts going in through the inferior and superior vena cava. And these are veins, the largest veins in the body to be exact. And so the superior vena cava brings blood in from the top half of the body. The inferior vena cava brings blood from the lower half of the body, and both deposit into the right atrium, which is the top chamber of the heart. From there, blood is pumped down to the right ventricle, the lower chamber of the heart. And blood must flow through the tricuspid valve, which is named for its three little branches. And the purpose of all the valves in the heart is to make sure that blood flows in one direction and that it doesn't flow backwards. So after going to the right ventricle, blood flows through the pulmonary valve, also called the semilunar valve, based on the two little half moon shapes, and it goes through the pulmonary artery. There is a left and a right pulmonary artery, each one going to the respective lung. And in the lungs, gas exchange occurs. So in the blood, oxygen is put into the blood, and carbon dioxide is breathed out by the lungs. And so blood will flow back to the heart via the pulmonary veins. Veins are always bringing blood back to the heart, and arteries are always bringing blood away from the heart. So here the pulmonary veins are carrying oxygen-rich blood back to the left atrium. And the left atrium pumps blood down through the bicuspid or mitral valve and into the left ventricle. The blood will then flow out through the aortic valve, or also called the semilunar valve because of the half moon little flaps, and it will go straight to the aorta. The aorta is the largest artery in the body, and it will distribute blood throughout the body. So the aorta will send blood off to other arteries of the legs, the arms, and eventually these arteries will branch off into smaller blood vessels called arterioles. These arterioles will connect to capillaries, which are the tiniest blood vessels in the cardiovascular system. And capillaries are said to carry out the main function of the cardiovascular system, which is to exchange nutrients and gases through to the cells of the body. So the capillary will then flow to the venules, which are like tiny little veins that will collect blood from the capillaries, and eventually the venules will branch off into larger blood vessels called veins. So veins always carry blood back to the heart, and eventually these veins will lead to either the inferior or the superior vena cava, where they will deposit blood into the right atrium again and begin the whole process all over.